Today we will make turkey meatballs. And the turkey meatballs, what we do when we have a turkey and the leftover, we use up and make meatballs.
Yes.
So this one is the leftover 2 thighs, 2 wings,
Oh.
and some from the back meat. So what I did is I baked this separately because I just baked the turkey breast and 2 drumsticks before, and I'm doing this. But if you make the whole turkey, you can freeze the leftover and later on you can just do the same, thaw it out and take off from the bones or the meat, and then grind it up.
Okay, but and how long do you cook it for though?
Well, for about 2 hours.
Yeah.
On 375 with some onion, garlic, pepper, green pepper and tomato,
And
salt and pepper.
And some water?
And you put some water.
Okay, so just like when we did the roast beef and pork and stuff.
And you put about an inch water, so it will not burn down.
Not burn down.
So
Okay.
what you do is just you grind the cooked baked meat.
Look at that, the meat grinder.
And I'm using 1 onion cut up in pieces, and then grind that too.
Oh, you're grinding? Oh, that's neat, you can hear it.
Yeah. And here we have 3 slices of dried bread soaked in water, then you squeeze it out, and then you also grind this with the meat. It's all mixed together, see?
Oh.
And then you do it all again. So what we can do, I will finish this up and then later we can see what spices we are using. Okay?
Oh, okay.
So I will do this.
Right, so put a bit of meat, then a bit of onion.
Yeah, meat and onion and breadcrumbs, soaked bread. Doesn't matter how you do this, you can do it separate and then mix it up in that big.
Okay. Yeah.
When you make this, then you just put it into a bigger ring.
Yeah.
And then when it's all here, then you put 1 egg, paprika, ground pepper, mix it up and fry it in oil.
Oh, okay.
We will see that.
We'll come back for all that
so
part.
Finish
up the grinding and then we'll come back for that. Okay, bye for a bit then.
So it's all grind up.
Oh, okay, there it is, yeah.
So what we do now, put 1 tablespoon, it sounds a lot but it's not that much, 1 tablespoon of paprika, but it's very just flat, it's not keeping, right?
Okay.
See, it's about 1 tablespoon here. And then we put half teaspoon ground pepper, yeah.
Okay, ground pepper,
and because when we bake the meat, it's already salted, we don't have to put too much salt, but we still have to put some salt, so I will put just a little bit less than a half teaspoon salt.
Okay.
And then 1 egg, because the egg will hold it all together. When you fry it, it will not go all around coming apart. You know, it's holding together the thing.
Fun.
And when you have this, with your hand, which is washed and clean, washed it, you just mix it up.
Oh, wow, yeah.
So what you do is you mix it up real well all together. And when you mix it up, then the oil, you heat the oil on 4 until it's nice and warm, hot, and then you just form little meatballs and fry it. And when you fry about 5 minutes first on one side, then turn around, and in a minute or so later you can put the heat down to 3, the stove between 2.5 and 3, and cover it for about 3 minutes, 4 minutes, and then you uncover and keep baking another 3-4 minutes, open your and put it back to between 3 and 4. Or if the oil is too hot by then just on 3. So it nicely fry, but don't burn.
And yeah, I remember I asked you once what you coat it with, but you don't actually coat it with anything. It just...
No, before I used to coat with breadcrumbs, but that's not necessary because when it's fried, it's kind of have almost like...
It does have a coating that develops...
feels like a coat because the top...
Well, it's the bread that was in there, I guess, eh?
Yeah.
The bread that's already in there kind of forms
a
a coating on the outside that fries away and gets all crispy.
You have to press it together.
Oh, oops. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, see? It is crumbly, just press together. 1 egg is enough usually, because for this amount, see? You just press together. And nice, all mix very well, the salt and pepper and paprika, egg. So the oil is hot enough, then we can go there to the stove and put the meatballs into the oil.
Okay, let's do that 1 second then.
So what we do now, the oil is on 3 warming up. I didn't put it on 4 yet because what I usually do, I will make about 8 meatballs on a plate out on the stove because I put them all together at once and then they will bake evenly. Otherwise, see, I will put that into the oil, then I form the next one by the 8th. When I finish the 8th, the first one already fried, right? So what I do, I just form those balls, about 8 of them. That's how many goes into that pot. And when all the 8 finish, by then the oil on 3 will be maybe warming up. If it's not too warm, then I put it on 4 for a few seconds to wait until it's really hot. And it's not very, very hot, but hot enough to start to fry.
And I'm just thinking, how can you make them that shape? How do you start making them that shape? They're almost like a hockey puck shape.
Well, what you do is you make a ball.
Yeah.
You see, you make a ball,
right.
Press them you all well together, because then if you don't press well, then when you put into the oil, they're just coming apart.
Yeah.
And then what you do is just press it down like that.
Did you always used to do that
at
home?
And then just form it again nicely at the edges, because sometimes it's coming apart a little bit. You just form it. See, that's it about.
And I guess it fries better that way, right?
Oh, well, yeah, it fries. If you leave it in a ball, but then
the middle is not, right, doesn't get baked enough. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, so, yes, and you try to make same size of cut, because then they will fry the same same time.
Right,
so we have 5. And see, the meat a little bit crumbly, but doesn't matter because you press it together now. But you have to press well together, because then it will come apart.
Yeah.
And when you turn it, you have to be careful with the spatula you do, so don't break. And if it breaks, that's what I think. You just fry it.
Okay.
The pieces, whatever.
I'll stop this for a second then.
We have the 8 meatballs, see? And then I just put into the nice one.
You can hear the sizzling.
And you have to be careful. You can use a spatula to put it in, which is much better. You don't have to put like me with your hands, because then maybe you just burn yourself. The oil is very hot.
Now, I see that the top of them aren't really covered.
Well, you have it about centimeter and a half oil. I didn't measure it with cup. Wait, I will go for something.
Okay. So how do you know how deep to make it? Like, do you ideally want it completely covered, or
well,
just one side?
Like that. See, look at that. It's almost covered.
So you don't want the other side completely covered over?
No, you don't have to.
Because you're flipping it anyway.
Too much oil you would use.
Yeah.
It looks like we can put only 7 in it, not 8.
Oh.
If I would put maybe, oh no, 8 it was, because usually I put 8.
Yeah.
But have to make a little smaller maybe. No, see, exactly 8. 7 around and 1 in the middle.
That's funny.
And what I use a fork and a knife, Because when I'm turning, I just turn with two things, like a fork and a knife together.
Yeah.
Otherwise it's hard just with one thing. And again, what you do when you put it in, you move a little bit around because the bottom will
Stick.
stick to it.
Stick together.
A little bit, but then after it will not. Just the first time when you put it in, make sure make it. See, so it has to fry like this. It's not too hot, but it's frying. You can see the bubbling.
Yeah, I can see it. Yeah.
So, and this is on 4 now.
Okay.
And you fry it on 4 about, say I will fry it about 5 minutes. Then we'll turn it over and fry in the same 4 about another minute. The bottom start big, and then I will put it down to 2. I will put it on 2 and then cover. And leave it for 3 minutes so the inside bakes very well, fries. And then after uncover, put back on 4 and another 2-3 minutes. We'll see how long.
Okay.
We'll just fry it, so make sure it's nice and cooked.
Yo, Mama.
So until this now cooks, fries, until I will make another 8. So when I take this out, I can put the next 8 right away because the oil by then will be hot.
Okay.
Okay, now I guess it's good to flip. Oh yeah.
Oh boy. Well, maybe overdone, is it?
Baked.
Yeah. Oh boy.
I guess I didn't check really the time. More than 5 minutes hot. Okay, so it's nice and brown this side, see? So we flip it. And just leave for a minute about, or you don't even have to wait for a minute, you just leave for a few seconds so the bottom is baked. And now it's okay, we will put it on 2 raish until it will cool off a little bit. You just leave it open.
Yeah.
And we just will have the fondue.
Oh, you put a lid on it then?
That's the lid. Yeah. So now it's on 2, make sure you close it up because when you put it on, and if it's too hot it will come all around the oil. So you will see when it's a little bit lower, then the bubbles will be smaller.
Okay.
And it looks like that is okay. So
Okay, so drop it on there, cover it.
And then you watch, make sure the oil will not come around on the sides. And I would leave it only for about 2 minutes.
2 minutes, and then
2 minutes and then uncover and put back on maybe 3.5 because now the oil is hot enough, so maybe a 4 is too hot. 3.5 and for another 2 minutes or something. And then it will be ready.
Oh, good.
Because see, when you cover now, that the heat stays on from the top too, and then it will fries in the inside better.
Oh, the inside is better, yes.
Yeah, I guess, sometimes some people doesn't cover, I don't know.
Don't bother, really.
But yeah, that's really nice, see?
Okay.
And you can just magnesium it, see, nice and slow.
Good on the
Baking, sorry. Just move around a little bit.
Okay, well we have 10 minutes left on the tape, so I guess we'll finish off this recipe. So that's pretty much it then.
So yeah, then they'll do the same at next time. And the bottom line is, see, I never used to check the time. What you do is you check the
bottom,
meat,
yeah.
at the bottom if it's nice, a little bit
Darker than usual.
But you can have it a little lighter.
It's a nice golden brown, yeah.
Because at least I didn't check the 5 minutes, so maybe it was a little bit more.
Right.
But it can be maybe 4 minutes, so best thing to check.
Okay. Perfect, Annika.
Okay, so that's all then.
Okay, well, thanks so much again.
Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye, Zolt.
Bye-bye.